The octopus is such a stupidly cool animal. This entire video is just an excuse for me to rattle off random facts about octopuses, because they're just so damn cool. Yeah, I said octopuses and not octopi, because that's fact number one. Fact number one. The plural for octopus is octopuses, not octopi, like a ton of very stupid people get incredibly wrong. The I suffix for plural objects, for example fungus becoming fungi when pluralized, and mentally turning into amogus or sus when you hang out with cosmically unfunny people, only applies if said word has a Latin origin. Octopuses aren't dead animals like the Latin language. They're badasses loaded with pure Spartan blood in their veins. Their name isn't Latin, it's Greek. Technically, the real pronunciation for them is Octopussies. And don't worry, immediately switching to this pronunciation so you can hit people with the Octopussies nuts also falls firmly under the category of the only funny thing I've ever come up with myself is my credit score. But dumbest of all, are those of you watching who, at any point during this intro, wanted to step in and correct me on my grammar. The big plot twist here, and the one you've probably figured out if you have more of a life beyond spell checking people in public, is that language is entirely malleable and rapidly changes over time, and the quote-unquote rules genuinely don't matter as long as we understand each other. There is literally no expected lexicon except whatever's determined by your culture. Is it tomato or tomato, potato or potato, data or data? It's whatever everyone around you decides to call it. End of story. If you're still stubbornly trying to fight me on this, go ahead and tell me the last time you heard someone say, "I'm feeling really gay today," and they in sincerity meant that they were just in a good mood and nothing else. Stop listening to how people speak instead of what they're trying to say, you octopussies. Cool plot twist, huh? That when you thought I was helping to correct people, in reality I never actually gave a shit? I call that the old US government treatment. Fact number 2. Active camouflage. Watch this clip. Pretty fucking awesome, right? The octopus has multiple ways to conceal itself, but probably the most amazing is their ability to control the color of their skin and adapt it to its environment in seconds, called active camouflage. Don't believe me that active camouflage is the coolest thing ever? Well, you should, because I've been standing right in front of you this entire time. My fellow Metal Gear Solid fans know how kick-ass this is. The octopus was the inspiration for Snake's camo suit in Metal Gear Solid 4. That's why when you boot up the game, one of the TV shows that plays in the beginning is a nature documentary about octopussies. But the octopus differs from the regular furry OC in that it's not just about mixing and matching every color of the rainbow with complete disregard to good character design and color theory. They can also change the texture of their skin to better match their surroundings. Say, is there a really comfy looking rock nearby, but you're worried some asshole moray eel is gonna come over and eat you for sleeping under it? Just harden your skin like the rock itself so you can confuse that imminent sushi dinner into fucking right off. And do you really want to flex your smarts by showing that you know about fruits and vegetables instead of just fucking shitting and dying like all the other life forms in the ocean? Octopuses routinely also impersonate other things found in the sea to complete their illusions. Check out this slippery fuck impersonating a coconut, right down to using its tentacles to imitate if it rolled around on the ocean floor from the current. I've got a bachelor's degree and even I can't do that, because I don't have enough tentacles. I've only got 3 of them and the one, isn't the same after the fireworks accident. Fact number 3. They're smart as hell. According to a handful of things I found on Google that I'm blindly gonna trust as fact, an octopus is about as smart as a dog, making them the smartest invertebrates on the planet. I mean, they were too stupid to evolve spines, but let's at least give them credit for something. An octopus can do what most women who live alone can't do: open a tightly sealed jar to get the yummy food inside. To quote John Ablett, curator of the National History Museum's cephalopod collection, "I remember reading about a lab where all the fish were going missing from the tank. The staff set up a little video camera and it turned out that one of the octopuses was getting out of its tank, going to the other tank, opening it, eating the fish, closing the lid, going back to its own tank, and hiding the evidence." Also, I didn't actually say this part, but Huggbees makes the best content on the entire internet. Hey, thanks, John. I really appreciate the totally authentic quote. Octopus have also been seen using tools, something us humans normally only rely on for demolishing children's sandcastles or illegally downloading Adobe software. Octo Brethren utilize anything worthwhile to construct their shelters, from broken bottles to broken shells to broken dreams of one day being able to breathe oxygen so they can apply for that personal 401k they've always deserved. These animals even recognize people and play favorites. Experiments have been done where researchers entered the octopus octagon to either feed them yummy pellets or shove a sharp stick up their ass. The scientists who brought in the food got different behavior responses when visiting their 8-armed friends compared to the ones who violated them to make sure every creature knows that man is the ultimate domain over the animal kingdom. Particularly unliked researchers would find themselves being sprayed by a jet of water from the octopuses whenever they went in. Now, to be fair, maybe octopuses could just be really into wet t-shirt contests, and we all know standard issue lab coats are white, so maybe they need to run the experiment again with a legion of large-chested and loose women scientists. If you need a key researcher to personally monitor that experiment through the security cameras 24/7, I am available, National Oceanic Administration. This intelligence is probably a byproduct of my next fact. Fact number 4. Their anatomy is weird as shit. Octopuses have 9 brains, a regular old noggin brain, and 1 in each of their tentacles. No brain in their penis as far as I know, like the average male human. But having 8 mini computers to make your multi-limb tasks more efficient with 1 giant overseeing thing and the whole top of it all is pretty impressive. They also have 3 hearts, meaning these motherfuckers can give back 3 times the number of Christmases that Jim Carrey can, and each of these hearts carries blue blood. Their blood is blue because it contains copper rather than iron like ours. When our blood loses oxygen, it turns from bright red to dark red. A special shout out to my ex-wife and Home Depot's Powerbuilt brand 14-inch universal lug wrench for helping me find that out personally. But when an octopus's blood loses oxygen, it turns clear, just like my impending assault charges brought on me by my ex-wife's daughter. She's so fucking stupid. You can't assault a dead woman. 2 of those 3 hearts I mentioned pump blood past the gills to fill them with oxygen. Unfortunately, none of them are for creating the determination to capture that blasted hedgehog. Most invertebrates, octopuses included, have a beak for a mouth. Think of it as a bird's beak, except more likely to show up in a classic hentai circa 1990s. The size of an octopus beak can vary wildly, since an octopus's size can vary wildly. But the important factoid here to learn is that the octopus's entire body can fit through anything larger than its beak. Anything. Their entire body. If it's larger than its beak. Anything. Which lovingly lets me get to the final factoid. Fact number 5. Sex with them sucks. It's just like the old saying goes, octopus sex really is all over the place. In some species, females often try to eat the males, so the males will try to look as large as possible and sport a rainbow of intimidating colors before getting their freak on. Here's a cool fact you can tell your folks at the family reunion. The majority of octopuses prefer doing it doggy style, because it gives the male the greatest chance of escaping undevoured post-coitus. Sometimes octopuses don't even know who they can and can't mate with. During sex struggles, male octopuses will brand their skin with a complex black and white stripe pattern to help identify themselves to the females. They keep this pattern on like war paint while fighting each other to the death over who gets some of that sweet octussie. This has led to some more clever males remaining fully camouflaged and then sneaking in to sneak mate with the females during all the commotion. You don't believe that's possible? Ask your sister next time I suddenly need to take an urgent business phone call during Thanksgiving dinner. Sex organs? Forget about it. Male octopuses just shoot sperm out of their modified 3rd tentacle. Duh. As for the female vaginas, they kinda just like shove the tentacle in them. Like all of it into the whole octopus. I mean it, I'm serious. Like, fisting is mandatory for these animals. They just kind of cram it in there. Oh, I wish you could see that and I wasn't wearing this stupid fucking suit. But the worst part of all of this is that this stuff is killer. Males usually die within months of mating, while females die shortly after their eggs hatch. The average life expectancy of an octopus is as long as 5 years, but sometimes as short as 6 months. These creatures are around long enough to fascinate and astound us, but die too quickly to pass any of that talent on to their next generation. Which, when you think about it, is incredibly impressive. Think about how dumb humans are. Now think about how much we specifically have to learn by being taught from our previous generation. Now consider that most octopuses, if not all, are doing everything they do, learning it entirely on their own. Hard to keep calling them Octopussies after all that, huh? There's a million other cute fun facts I could rattle off here, because these octo-armed fucks are as strange and as charming as the ocean itself. Some octopuses punch fish to defend their homes, and others spray ink to escape like underwater ninja smoke bombs. But I want this video to help some of you out there appreciate just how cool these second choice sushi menu item creatures are. So I'm going to leave you with the blanket octopus. The male blanket octopus is like every male waiting in a meet and greet line at an anime convention. Weak, small, nothing special. Males are less than an inch long and are so wimpy they mate with females by detaching their dicks and giving it to the female to do whatever she wants with. But the female blanket octopus is huge and is such a badass they'll rip tentacles off of Portuguese man-o-war and use them as whips to defend themselves. And they look like this. There's footage of these things swimming around, which even further showcases their beauty. But most of it's copyrighted by various news outlets, and I didn't want to risk them taking down this video over copyright, because we all know corporations are such soulless fucks that they deny us the chance to marvel at a blanket octopus over money. A video about each and every single enticing thing these squiggly little guys could do would be hours long, but I hope this at the very least made you appreciate them. I'm not saying that we should stop eating them, because God do I love meat, and I hate animals that can't learn tricks. But at least now you can tell someone a fact or two about your next sashimi piece. Itterdicky Christmas. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go hide in people's homes with this on and see how long it takes for them to notice I'm there.